Sitting nice and tall, shoulders to the back body, stretching up through your neck. Soften the face, close your eyes, and just start to breathe. Let's add some head rolls, just shoulder to shoulder. And then rolling the shoulders. And if you're not comfortable sitting on the floor, sit on a piece of furniture. You're in your home, enjoy it. And I'm gonna bring my fingertips up and just do some circles this way. Keep the breath deep. And let's switch directions. And relaxing down. Fingertips to one side, extending an arm up, reach, lengthen. And then just gently crossing over the midline. All the way up. Bring the arm down, fingertips, lengthen. Cross the midline. Lengthen and bring the shoulder down. A few more rolls, one shoulder at a time. Leaning forward and coming back up. And again down. And back up. Good. So still seated on your mat, just move the bum flesh away from the sits bones and walk your fingertips forward. With some really deep breaths, start to lean into this. Just feel that stretch in the low back, above the hips. And pulling back up. Good stuff. Hi, Hamish. Let's come on to the hands and the knees. Hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. And I'm gonna leave my toes tucked under. Drop the head to begin, tighten up through your core. And then we're gonna work through a little bit of cat-cow. So breathe in, head and tail lift up. And exhale, arching. Inhale up. And exhale. I hope you're getting all the good dog noises. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good stuff. So moving to a flat back, I did unflip my toes. I'm gonna flip them under here for a moment because I wanna bring some heat to the body really quickly, which means I'm gonna come up into the bear. I'm gonna tighten my core, and as I breathe in, thinking strong thoughts, and as I exhale, I just lift my knees off the mat. Keep breathing and holding. And lower back down. Uncurl the toes. We're gonna do it again. So we inhale. Exhale, lift and hold. Lowering back down. Toe knuckles together, pushing into the child's pose. Let's come back up to the hands and knees. Hey, Kevin. Kevin's just gonna have a little visit here. I'm gonna bring my feet hip width apart and I'm gonna do the bear again with all the dogs here. So you can either have your toes flipped under or pressing into the tops of your feet, whichever felt better for you. And by better, I meant less crappy. So we breathe in, and as you exhale, lifting the knees up, holding the core tight. Lower the knees. And take a breath or two, and then we'll go again. So breathing in, exhale, lowering down, toe knuckles together, pushing into the child's pose. Pull the hands up and back, tighten through the core, and just push forward so you can flip your toes under and lift up. Uncurl your toes. And if you're wondering why I'm in a completely different location, it's because I'm hiding out from my dogs who have now started their WrestleMania hour-long fest of the day. So I've moved upstairs and they are still fighting downstairs. Home practice 101. Let's move forward from this nice stretch. Uncurl your toes, just shake out your feet. And then plant the feet down. We're gonna move up to our first downward facing dog, tight core lifting up and back. And just play with this. Walk it out, twist around, shake out your hair, have some fun with it. And then let's walk the hands back to the feet. Bend your knees, hold on to the elbows. Breathe. Release the arms and let yourself roll all the way up. And let's move into the mountain pose. So we're gonna bring our feet underneath the hips, just relax your arms down. Nice and tall, tail tucks under, breathing here. And let's bring the hands to the heart. So I don't have a full height ceiling all the way around, so it's gonna limit a little bit of what I wanna do. That's okay, that's how it goes when we are doing a home practice. But I want to take you through a flow that's pretty basic and one that's pretty quick to do if you just feel like, getting into it for a few moments. We're going to start with our feet nice and wide apart. And this flow involves a wide-legged downward facing dog posture plus some variations based on warrior two. So for the wide-legged downward facing dog, the only thing you need to remember is you're going to walk the hands forward just slightly, and then you roll back into your hips. And when you do that, the legs and the hips carry the weight of the posture, which is wonderful for any folks who have difficulty or discomfort holding downward facing dog. So let's do this together. Plant right into your feet. Make sure the weight is evenly distributed from the inner arches to the outer edge. And let's stretch up. Swan dive carefully if you've got a roof in the way. Find your floor. And then walk your hands forward, 2 or 3 kind of hand prints. Roll into your hips and let your head hang. Breathe deeply, feel the hamstrings stretching. I love this posture. We walk the hands back and roll up, nice and tight through the core. Keep the tail dropped, shoulders roll all the way back. We're gonna bring one foot out to the side, ease into the knee. This is a little bit of a lazy warrior two. You're not super far apart, just comfortably stanced. That's a saying. Shoulders roll back and down, and then bring the arms out from the heart. So really dramatic, pulling the chest open, opening your heart. Deep breaths. Good. Let's hold this for about 3 or 4 breaths. And then bring the arms down as that leg footens. The foot comes to center. Sweep up if you have the space. Slice down. Walk the hands forward. And back into this nice, wonderful posture. Walk your hands back, roll up, shoulders roll to the back body. Bring the foot out, ease in on the other side. Bring the arms out from the heart. Fingertips are stretching. Nice deep breath. Drop the arms, straighten the legs, straighten the foot, sweeping up, slicing down. Walk your hands forward. Roll back into your hips. And play around with it. Maybe push the heart towards your feet. Maybe let the shoulder blades come closer together. Walk your hands back, rolling up again. Notice if you're starting to feel it in the inner thighs. And let's bring that foot out to the side, easing into the posture. And bring your arms out. Excellent work. So a couple of little points to focus on for this round. You want to feel an external rotation through the thigh. It's going to kind of pull up, and I'm sure that looks good on camera. Rotate up and back. Your foot is holding onto the floor and the tail is dropped. Don't let your bum stick out into the wall. And core is engaged. Deep breaths. Let's turn this into the archer. Bring one hand back. Rotate so your thumb is up and pulling these 2 points apart as you sink deeper into your posture. Releasing dramatically, sweeping up, slicing down. Walk the hands forward, push into your hips. Again, make it playful. Maybe you're moving around this time. Maybe you're kind of exploring all of this flexibility. Maybe you're just here thanking all the gods that the dogs have not found where you're hiding. And then we walk back, rolling up, roll the shoulders. Bring the foot out, sinking in on this side. Remember that wonderful external rotation. Tight, drop, arms come out. Let's turn this into the archer. Bow and arrow, working here. I'm starting to have a little bit of the leg shake. That means that this is getting harder and my muscles are getting tired, and that's exactly what I want to have happen. Feeling that resistance, feeling that challenge, and then sweeping up, because life is all about challenge. Hand back down to the floor, walk your hands forward, roll back into those hips. Big, deep breaths. Walk the hands back again, rolling up. Let's do another round, why not? Bring the foot out, sinking in. My stance is getting wider as I go. You can adjust that if you need to. Coming right off my darn mat. Extending out. I'm gonna turn this into a, let's do a reverse warrior. And let's see if I can scrape my knuckles on the ceiling. So let's drop the back arm. Front arm lifts up. Really reaching here. And then down. Straightening. Sweeping up, slicing down. Walk it forward. Roll into your hips. Walk it back, rolling up. And opening on this side. I am worried I'm gonna do the splits at any point in time, oh my goodness. And sinking in on this side, beautiful dramatic warrior two. And drop that back arm, front arm rising up. And back to a warrior two. Straighten that leg, straighten that foot, sweep up, slice down. One last time, walk it forward and push back into the hips. Drop your head. While you're here, if you want, grab an ankle with an opposite hand or a shin or whatever you have to grab and release and switch to the other side. Releasing, walking back, rolling up. Drop those shoulders, and then let's bring the feet all the way back together. Wonderful. Let's come down to a seated posture on the mat. Bring your fingertips back to the floor and just walk forward. And just with a number of deep breaths, let yourself sink into a little bit of a fold. Nice deep breaths. And the point is to come as far as you're comfortable with, to kind of release that low back and your hips and the glutes, but it shouldn't hurt. And you need to keep breathing. And let's roll back up. Excellent work. Let's come right down onto the back. I'm so happy the dogs haven't found me yet. I'm gonna bring one knee into the tummy, and I'm gonna stretch my other leg out on the mat. I'm gonna press into the top of that leg because it's tight, 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 tight. And I'm just gonna deepen my breath and try and bring a sense of peace and relaxation into my body. Leaving that leg extended on the floor, I'm going to extend and lengthen and stretch my other leg up. If you want to use your hands to hold this leg in place, go for it. Make sure your shoulders are gently resting on the floor. Deepen that breath. Notice the shake. Shake. And then very slowly bend the knee, and we're gonna guide that leg across the midline of the body. I'm gonna bring my arm out to the side and then just pull over here. Oh, should feel good. You should feel this really nice stretch through the piriformis. As I'm relaxing here, I can actually hear my dogs wrestling downstairs. Oh my goodness. Beautiful. Let's bring that knee back to center and bringing the foot to the floor. We're going to switch sides. So bring the other leg up, stretch this foot out, knee to tummy. Extend the leg up into the air. And again, you're welcome to hold it in place. Just picking some fluff off my cuff. Don't ever rush this part. It's not as exciting, but boy, does it deliver so much benefit. I'm gonna bring my knee back down, switching to this hand. Arm comes out to the side, and I'm going to pull that knee over. Shoulders stay on the floor. Really focus your breath to where the tension in this stretch is. And then back to center. Let's bring that foot to the floor. Other foot comes up. Feet are hip width apart. Tight through the core. Hands on either side of the hips. Shoulders roll back. Breathe in deeply. And with a nice tight core, we're gonna lift up on the exhale. Pinch the bum cheeks together. And then just hold for a few breaths. Let's slowly lower down. Feel that low back release. Again, breathing in, engaging everything. And exhale, lift, pinch the bum cheeks together, please. And then slowly lowering down, let everything sink and release. If it feels good, this time sweep the arms up over top of your head. Inhale. Exhale, lift, engage. And slowly lowering down. Keep the arms where they are, tighten the core, and pull the knees to the tummy, toe knuckles together, extending up. Deep breaths. And I'm just gonna move between a flexed foot and pointed toes. Just back and forth. Sweep the arms up towards the feet. Feet move towards the hands. See what you can hold on to. Have one more really super mega awesome stretch, and the knees sink into the tummy. Give yourself a hug. Rock from side to side. Let's thrown a spinal twist. Who am I kidding? Slowly lowering the legs to one side and then pushing into the opposite shoulder. I don't even have cactus arms. I'm just kind of collapsing into the floor. It feels really good. And if you want a mega intense stretch, then you could always wrap around. Just be mindful of what you're comfortable with. I've come off my mat, my hips on the floor, so that doesn't feel good. So I'm releasing. Tight through your core, pressing into that opposite shoulder, bring the knees back to center, and then moving to the other side. Oh, I just found some tightness I didn't know I had. Woo. For all of those of you, how unexpected. For those of you who struggle with cactus arms, whew, this is my moment of karma. Whew. My word. And now that I'm flooded with endorphins, let's come back to center. Grab a hold of those knees, pull them in tight, and then find whatever position works beautifully for you for the Shavasana. You can stretch out on your back if you like. I'm actually going to rest my knees against each other, so feet on either side of the mat, and knees resting. And if you're cool, just cross the arms over the chest. I mean, I'm super cool, but you know what I mean. Chilly. And just drift. As you deepen your breath, pull the arms up over top of your head. Stretch out the legs. Bring the knees into the tummy. Let's roll up to a seated posture. Notice how you feel. We did not spend much time working on stuff, but hopefully it's enough time to feel that you just got into yourself and maybe made some discoveries. I know I sure did. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.